Why do people think independent films are so inaccessible? Imagine walking into a cozy theater in San Francisco and feeling like you're stepping into a secret world. That's part of the charm of independent cinema. But many folks see these films as hard to reach or confusing. So why is that? Well, first, independent films are made outside the big Hollywood studio system. That means they usually have smaller budgets, fewer resources, and less marketing power. In San Francisco, where the art scene is lively, this can make it tricky for some people to find or afford indie films. Physical access is a big part of the puzzle. Large theaters like the Yerba Buena Center for the Arts are built to be accessible, with ramps and elevators. But many smaller historic theaters, like the Roxy Theater, were built before modern accessibility rules. They might lack ramps, accessible restrooms, or elevators, making it tough for people with mobility needs to attend. Another challenge is sensory disabilities. Mainstream theaters often have closed captions, open captions, and audio description available. But indie films, especially those shown at festivals or in older formats like 16 or 35 film prints, don't always have these features. Sometimes, the digital versions of indie films don't include accessible options because filmmakers or distributors lack the resources or know-how. For example, at the Roxy Theater, less than 10% of films screened recently had accommodations for hearing or visual impairments. This isn't unique to the Roxy. Many independent films don't have the same level of accessibility as big studio releases. Festivals like SF Film are working hard to change that. They work with filmmakers to get accessible versions and clearly list which screenings offer captions or audio descriptions. They even let ticket buyers request accommodations when they buy their tickets. But even when accommodations are available, sometimes they aren't well advertised. People might arrive at a screening expecting accessibility, only to find it's not available. That can reinforce the idea that indie films are out of reach. Cost is another factor. While many indie screenings in San Francisco are affordable, some assume these films are expensive or exclusive. In reality, many events offer sliding scale tickets or pay-what-you-can options to make it easier for everyone to attend. The culture of independent cinema has often focused on artistic expression over broad audience inclusion. This has sometimes led to less attention on making films accessible to everyone. But things are changing. Festivals like Superfest in San Francisco prioritize accessibility from the start. They offer open captions, audio description, American Sign Language interpreters, and accessible venues as standard. These events show what's possible when accessibility is a priority. If you want to enjoy independent films in San Francisco, it's smart to check the accessibility details before you go. Many organizations are working to improve, but progress can be uneven. The more audiences ask for accessible options and support venues that provide them, the faster things will improve. So, people think independent films are hard to access because of real gaps in physical access, sensory accommodations, communication, and sometimes outdated ideas about cost and exclusivity. In San Francisco, there are leaders working to change that. But it takes ongoing effort from filmmakers, venues, festivals, and viewers to make independent cinema truly open to everyone.